Welcome to The Deep Dive, the podcast where we sweat the small stuff so you don't have to. From real stories to expert advice, we're here to uncover everything about hyperhidrosis and empower you to take control. Ready to dive into the world of sweat and solutions? Let's make a splash.
All right, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive into hyperhidrosis awareness, specifically in Kenya.
Okay.
And we're going to be taking a look at a YouTube video. The title of this video is LIDAC for Fun DS, and it's from the Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya channel.
Right.
And I think you'll find this to be kind of an eye-opening perspective on what they're doing and the challenges that they're facing.
Yeah.
One of the first things that really jumped out at me was this story that they shared about needing this expert advice, and they didn't have the funding to fly someone in. So what they did?
What did they do?
They reached out through social media to some international specialists and were able to get the advice that they needed, that way.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, talk about resourcefulness.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah. And I think that really kind of highlights, their perspective in general. They really see themselves as problem solvers. Not limited by financial constraints.
Right.
And I think another thing that's really fascinating is that they believe that they can achieve a significant impact even with minimal funding.
Right.
Now, they also make a point of saying that they're not really relying on government assistance. And I'm kind of curious to get your take on that.
Yes.
Do you think that is a wise move?
Well, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems like they're really focusing on what they can control, which is building awareness and advocating for themselves.
Right.
One thing they emphasize is the need for understanding in government services, particularly like immigration.
Yeah. And they, they really get into some of the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to go through like fingerprint scans.
Oh God.
When you're dealing with excessive sweating.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, and it's not just a matter of being uncomfortable.
Right.
It can actually create some real problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you could be seen as as suspicious or untrustworthy simply because of a medical condition.
Yeah.
They describe some situations as bordering on inhumane.
Wow.
So this is where awareness really comes in.
Yeah.
It's not just about education. It's about changing perceptions.
Absolutely.
So what would that paradigm shift that they talk about actually look like?
Well, I think what they're getting at is they envision a Kenya where people don't automatically assume the worst, when they see someone sweating profusely.
Right.
It's about understanding that it could be hyperhidrosis and not nervousness or deception.
Right.
And I think this can lead to more empathy and support, just with everyday interactions.
Absolutely, and that really kind of brings us to what really resonated with me, which was their plea to really understand the human impact of this condition.
Yeah.
It's so easy to overlook the daily struggles when you haven't walked in their shoes.
Right. Yeah. It's a powerful call to empathy.
Yeah.
They want people to imagine themselves in these situations.
Right.
The social awkwardness, the practical difficulties, the potential for misjudgment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So much of this really does just come down to awareness.
Yeah.
And not just of the condition itself.
Right.
But of the people who are living with it every day.
And that's really their mission, to make hyperhidrosis visible,
right?
To advocate for understanding and change, and to ultimately improve the lives of those affected by it.
Right. I think this deep dive has really given us a glimpse into the dedication and resilience of Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya.
Yeah.
They're not just raising awareness; they're driving a movement.
They are. Yeah.
And I think it leaves us with a pretty crucial question here: how might increased awareness impact not only just the practicalities of daily life,
right,
but also the the social perception and acceptance of hyperhidrosis in Kenya.
It really is something worth pondering, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
You've been listening to The Deep Dive, because understanding sweat is the first step to thriving. Remember to subscribe, share, and connect with us on Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya socials. Together, we can stay cool, confident, and unstoppable. Until next time, keep shining. No sweat.